Arne Slot has opened up as manager of Liverpool with a 2-0 win here against Ipswich, and with those second half goals from first of all Jota and then that man Mo Salah marking his 350th Liverpool appearance with his 212th goal. And here he is.
Yeah, Mo, a win to start the season, a goal and an assist for you. How much did you enjoy getting back out there in front of these travelling Liverpool fans behind you?
Oh, it's quite tough today, to be fair. The weather is really warm today, but it's a tough team. I'm glad that we won the game today, and I'm always happy to make the difference for the team. That's the most important thing, that the team won the game. So yeah, we just need to carry on.
Is it tricky facing a newly promoted team, a different challenge?
Yeah, definitely. When they play home especially, it's quite tough. First game of the season, the crowd is always up and they always push them forward. It's quite tough. We knew that before the game. We play many years now in the Premier League, so we're experienced. So yeah, we expect a tough game.
For you though, it's the 9th goal you've scored on the opening day of the season. That is the most of any player in the Premier League. Why do you think you have such success on the first game of the season?
I don't know. Hopefully keep going like this in the whole season, not just the first game. I'm always I'm trying to help the team all the time. The most important thing is the team win the game. I'm always happy again to score goals or give assists. So I just need to carry on.
Has the new manager asked anything different of you in this role this season in the team?
It's quite different. Jurgen was in the team for the team 8 years here in Liverpool. He gave everything, and now he's new manager, new system. It's quite different for us, or for all of us. So we need to adapt. We just take it step by step, because some players also came late. So we just need to know his way of playing, and we just need to enjoy the football.
So what can Liverpool fans expect to see under Arne Slot this season?
Well, we don't need to put more pressure on him. We just need to play football and enjoy our games, and let's see in the end.
Well, congratulations to start the season. You're the man of the match. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, he's picked up where he left off under the old manager and has a goal and an assist to start the new season. But what was really interesting was hearing him talk what we touched upon before the game. Liverpool haven't signed anyone. It might be the same players, but it's a very different way they're being asked to play, and they're going to have to adapt to Arne Slot.
Yeah, I mean, in the second half, it was really impressive, Steve. They are going to definitely change. Every manager's got a different style, a different philosophy, and I think it's important that Arne Slot gets that over to his team, because as much as you've had success in the past, you can't continue to sort of sit back and not have your imprint if you're going to be the long-term successor. We mentioned at half-time that Mo Salah was getting in a lot in that first half, in behind the defence, and that was to prove pivotal in the end. Both goals had an element of that. Even at his age, even his experience, he still remains the one with the key, doesn't he? He can open up a defence. To start with was obviously with the assist and then his goal. He played well. They're all going to have to slightly adjust their games, but there's nothing quite like a win to get confidence and building. And that second half performance was very, very slick from Liverpool.
Because the three of us were sat just behind Arne Slot in the dugout area here at Portman Road. He was up constantly, wasn't he? And he was constantly making little tweaks, which I guess is going to go on for a while yet, isn't it, with what Michael's saying?
Of course, yeah, because as you said there, they've been so used to playing that Jurgen Klopp way that just psychologically sometimes you revert back to type, and that's what they've been doing for so long. But you quite clearly see that second half. It almost felt like they were feeling Ipswich out the first half, maybe seeing what they had, see if they could hurt them, and there was a couple of occasions where Ipswich maybe could have done better, but that second half they just went up a level, and it was really obvious and direct what they were doing. Every single one of those front players came short and span in behind, and every single time they did it, Ipswich couldn't live with them. And as Mo said there, that's where the goals come from, and it finished 2 and it could have been 3-4, because it seems quite basic. But if you've got that much pace as Liverpool have got up top, you cannot deal with it. You can't mark it. That little one step forward and you spin in behind. And Salah was outstanding second half at doing that.
I wonder whether they're going to refrain from pressing so hard from the front in the future. They didn't expend too much energy pressing and harrying and chasing the Ipswich defence. And I always remember speaking to Jurgen Klopp at some point, and he said that even he started backing away from that towards the end of his career. At the start of his career, when he had some of the youngsters playing up there, the Firminos, the Manes, the Salahs when he was a bit younger as well, they just had the energy to be able to do that. They had the power in midfield behind to be the next wave. I just wonder whether not everybody can expend the energy that Liverpool used to do. And even Jurgen Klopp started changing that a little bit. And I wonder if Arne Slot's going to do something similar. Time will tell. We'll analyse it, of course, through the season.
Yeah. But let's have a look at Salah's goal, first of all, which made absolutely sure. As I say, there were 2 goals inside 5 minutes and 21 seconds.
Yeah, and it was another one of those long diagonals that we mentioned, right over the top. He was always looking to get in over the top in that second half. In the first half as well, and that was to sort of put the seal on the game. Really, I don't think Ipswich were ever coming back, but it's amazing how many times. I mean, that's the killer runners, and no defender wants to be sprinting back to their own. But it was amazing how many times he did it, and he still got the timing right. It was still very difficult for the Ipswich defence to be able to pick up.
It was, yeah. And so when he gets in there, the timing of the run, but also it's almost triggers. It's almost like they look at each other, and the moment he goes forward, they go, right, we know exactly where he wants the ball. But when he gets in there, I mean, he's been one of the very best for a while. Calm, clinical, and he just knows what to do. He doesn't have to really get enough on it, because the goalkeeper comes out, he just gets enough toe on it to get it, take it down into the ground and take it under the goalkeeper. A really clever finish.
His fitness levels today really impressed me. We've mentioned the heat before, but to be his age now, but, you'll look at all the stats and you'll think, oh yeah, he's not covered as much ground as X, Y and Z. His runs are lung-busting runs. His runs take it out of you. He's not just buzzing around at 60% constantly. He walks, but when he runs, it is so fast and over long distances. Playing out wide is a difficult position to be. And then he's back in again. And as soon as someone gets, he's off again and again and again. 90th minute, still sprinting at full pelt. I mean, his fitness levels, his strength. People talk about his quality of finish, and of course, that's absolutely right. But his fitness levels today really impressed me.
We talked before the game about the Ipswich players learning lessons, being new to this. I mean, Leif Davis in that second half will have lessons learned, won't he? Because he's up against the very best in that situation.
Exactly that. I think both fullbacks, as you said there, Steve, Axel Tuanzebe and Leif Davis, we were singing their praises at half-time. They defended against Luis Diaz and Mo Salah really well, 1v1. Didn't give him too much respect, put their body on the line. Leif Davis was almost running Salah back this way first half. It's sort of like something switched. And that's why they're top quality players, these guys, because they just go, okay, I can understand what you're doing now. Let me work that out. So what did Salah start doing? Just started showing Leif that he was coming up and then spinning behind. And after about 4 or 5 of those, Leif Davis thought, do you know what? I can't allow to leave Salah there on his own, because if I leave him there, he's going to punish us every single time. So he gets pushed back, and then it's a much more comfortable afternoon for Salah. And on the other side, Axel Tuanzebe, he's struggling as well, because Luis Diaz starts coming in off the line. So he's like, do I go and mark him? Do I not? And it becomes a little bit of cat and mouse. But I mean, both of the fullbacks I thought for Ipswich were very good first half, but you're not going to come up against players of those qualities every single week.
Well,
but
maybe next week when they go to Man City.
Yeah, okay, maybe not that week.
exactly that. I mean, but it is interesting, isn't it? And it's actually can be a bit of a turning point in her career. I mean, the two fullbacks will be looking at each other in the dressing room, say, thinking, "Oh my word,
wow."
That's different to whatever I've played against before.
Will they actually think that second half's almost like a different sport to what they've played?
Yes, and some people it will ruin their confidence and think, I'm not ready for this level. But they really are. It's just, you've just got to get used to it. It doesn't happen all the time, but it will happen. And it's not that they're not fit enough, it's only a mental thing. But playing against that should either sharpen them up or ruin their confidence. And hopefully the whole Ipswich team, really, if they can just not get too downbeat about that. They were brilliant in that first half. If they can just take that and remember that and try to improve little bit by little, I think they'll be all right. I mean, I'm not trying to judge Ipswich off one game, but I was really, really impressed with them today. And it's just important that they don't go into their shell now and think, oh wow, this Premier League is too much for us, because that's Liverpool at their very best today in the second half.
You strikers have always told me, when you miss one, it's important you stay mentally strong. At 0-0, Diego Jota did miss a big chance by his very high standards in the air, didn't he?
Yeah, it was. It's not like him as well, because he's really good in the air. His timing's brilliant. He's composed in front of the goal. And that one there, that to me, that's one of those finishes where, as the ball's en route, you're thinking, I've scored here. And you almost forget about the basis, which is hit the target. Because he does everything right. He glances it, it goes into the far corner, but he just gets too much on it. And for someone of his quality in that type of area, he's usually better than that.
You don't want it dropping to anybody else there, do you? Jota, okay, he's only small, but he's normally lethal in that situation. And you mentioned it before, you miss a chance like that as a centre forward, you can't go into your shell. You've got to come back. You'll get one soon, and that's the mentality. And when he got one, he made sure that one hit the back of the net.
He did, and it came 70 seconds later. And as you say, it was from that side that you'd been talking about all day with Mo Salah.
Just shows to me the mentality of the lad. Doesn't let it get him down, still wanting it. Yes, people will say, it's a bit of a tap-in finish, but That ball feels quite a long, slow way, doesn't it, when it's coming to you thinking, oh wow, I'm meant to score here, I've got a bit of an open goal, certainly half the goal to end, but it was a good finish, and coming so soon after missing a chance, fair play to his mental capabilities.
Do you know what helps him there as well is that he doesn't have to think about it. I think when you've missed that header, you think, and you've got a lot going on in your head, and when you get a more difficult chance where maybe you've got to move the ball and then finish it, you can overthink things. But when it's coming across you there at that pace, you haven't got to think about anything. Just get a good firm contact on it and put it in the empty net. If anything, I'm shocked that Salah passed it in that situation.
I was. Mo Salah's role in that goal was just brilliant, though. I mean, he linked up play, he then spun, and then obviously to have the wherewithal to see his mate as well, and it looked like an easy pass, but the weight, the angle, all had to be spot on to keep it in Jota's stride, and the finish was good as well, but everything was down to Mo Salah really there.
Yeah, but we touched on Jota last season with the injuries that he had and what happened when Liverpool played without him. He came back, scored first time at Fulham. I remember talking to him live on Matchday Live that day. Where does he rank in terms of the importance for Liverpool in terms of what he brings to that forward line for you?
Well, straight away with Arne Slot putting him in there, starting 11, that'll do wonders for him, because you only have to look at the bench, and Darren mentioned before Gakpo, what a Euros he had, fellow countryman of the manager, and then you've got Darwin Núñez, massive money signing, scored a fair few goals last season, so straight away that confidence to put you in and then to go and get your goal and have a good game, it'll do wonders for him. He can be a difference maker, no question about it. He's different to a lot of the other Liverpool attackers as well, and once they've got all of those five firing, then it is an embarrassment of riches.
Do you know, with Diogo Jota down the middle as well, I just feel like, I know he missed that first chance, but I would want the chances to fall to him more than anyone else, and that includes Mo Salah. Like, we know how many goals Mo Salah scores.
You think he's their most natural killer, do you?
Yeah, both. Yeah. You look at the way he finishes. I mean, again, it's a bit tough after he's missed that header, but 9 times out of 10 he always hits the target, he always chooses the right finishes, and it's moments really. He goes ice cold and he just strokes into the corner with either feet, and it's good in the air and it's timing. So yeah, for me, I think centre forward, I think right now, as we see after that first game in the season, that position is his to lose. It's only injury I think that will keep him out.
Interesting. And the clinical side, we saw, as I say, less than 5.5 minutes, 2 goals. That's what Liverpool can do to teams.
Yeah, literally killed the game in an instant, didn't they? And we were sat there thinking this could be 3 or 4 the way this game is going. They just upped it a different level in that second half. They were getting in behind, they just had runners, the full-backs were getting more involved into the game. It was just chalk and cheese from that first half, and as I say, a real competitive Premier League game in that first half. A brilliant watch, even though there was no goals, but second half it was so one-sided.
Yeah, and for Ipswich, Michael's right, it could have been worse. They put a lot of blocks in, the keeper made some good saves. That's important, isn't it? Not to get a hiding today on their return to the top flight. And
yeah, that's so important that it didn't, and you're right, it could have been worse. But it's almost about what happened at half-time as well, because there would have been conversations going, well done lads, right, we've got the first 45 out of the way, let's not happen in the second half. But you almost forget about, well, Liverpool can go up another 2-3 gears, is what they did. But I do think that first half performance will give them a lot of confidence. As Michael said there, hopefully they don't go into their show. I don't think they will. I don't think Kieran McKenna will allow that to happen. But you've got to take massive positives, because you created opportunities. Yeah, you didn't take the opportunities. You went toe-to-toe with one of the best teams in the country. If you can keep that up against a lesser opposition, I've got no doubts to get more points this season.
Benty, I love you, but I'm going to have to interrupt you for Dominik Szoboszlai. Thank you very much indeed. Good to see you. Joining us live here at Portman Road. Well done, Dominik. We used the word tricky before the game for Liverpool. How pleased are you to get through that with a good 2-0 win?
No, it's always a nice start to get the 3 points, even away. It was a hard opponent, but I think in the first half we were not quite ready, but we just showed the reaction what we had to when we came out for the second half. And early goal in the second half was really important.
What was different about Liverpool in that second half, do you think?
I think we just wanted more, put more work in the game, in the things what we have done. And I think if you see the first half and the second half, probably we run more, we win more duels, we had more shots on the goal, we had more chances. So this is what we have to do from the beginning.
Dominik, lots of people have been saying there's a big difference between the current manager and the past manager. What are the main differences tactically do you find under this new manager?
Well, we said it many times that we would like to have the ball, but in the same time we would like to be intense without the ball. So even if we play small touches, small passes, triangles, deep runs. Still, we need to work without the ball quite a lot. That's why we had a quite intense pre-season. But yeah, we can run in the 90th minute as well. So that's why, yeah, we are happy.
Dominik, you said there that first half was a little bit slow, a little bit cagey. How long do you think it will take you guys to get up to full speed? Because the second half it looked like you grew into the game, but how long do you think it takes before you're at maximum fitness?
I think we are at the maximum fitness. We just need to use it. I think it's not an excuse, but 12:30, it's still morning actually, but for them as well, so it's not an excuse, but still from the next week on we have to be ready from the first minute, because sometimes it works like this, but sometimes you concede a goal and then it's already too late.
Yeah, a lot of people saying about no new faces, but the same strikers are there, and when chances drop to the likes of Mo Salah and Diego Jota, you're going to win games, aren't you, by killing teams off like that?
Exactly, that's why we have them in the team, but also our bench is really strong. Darwin with Cody, with everybody, so we need the whole squad, because it's going to be a lot of games.
Well, listen, very well done today. Thank you very much indeed for joining us.
Thank you.
Great winning start. Dominik Szoboszlai live for you. Match day live on the road. Well, it's been great fun. I'm sorry Ipswich couldn't get the dream result for
That's
you.
right, Man City next, not a problem.
But a very solid start for Liverpool and Arne Slot.
A very solid start. That'll put a big smile on Liverpool fans' faces around the world.
OK, stay with us, of course, because